South Texas Amateur Tour Podcast, The Power Hour, with your hosts, Travis Silkowski, Michael Emanuelian, Casey Graham, Jason Bird, and Brad Gilbert.
What is going on? Good evening, South Texas Amateur Golf Tour. Hope everyone's having a good evening. It is 7 o'clock, 7:03, excuse me, on Wednesday, November 13th. We are live. We are talking a little bit about South Texas Match Play Challenge results. I'm sure many of you are aware. If you don't know, the weekend didn't go how we wanted. That's okay. That happens. It's going to be a relatively quick show tonight. We are going to highlight and talk about South Texas Match Play Challenge, talk a little bit about it from a player perspective, from a captaining perspective, logistical perspective, on how the weekend went in general. But I also, before we do anything, want to, first of all, thank all of our players from tour this year, spring, summer, Greater Hill Country. Thank you for everybody for participating. Thank you to everyone who made the South Texas Match Play Challenge team. Congratulations to you guys on a great season. I know the weekend didn't go how you wanted, but you guys showed up. You guys played your best, and it didn't work out how we wanted, but it's okay. Big shout out to our captains. First, Jason Bird. Jason rocked the weekend away, helping coach people, helping just be wherever he could be and make sure that every player got assistance as needed. And again, no one wanted it as much as Bird and Travis. Shout out to Captain Trav for putting on a hell of a show this weekend. We appreciate everything he did. Shout out to all of the Haga team. Congrats on their win, as well as a special thanks to our family, our wives, our girlfriends, our kids, our family, our friends for coming out and supporting the South Texas Match Play Challenge team this past weekend. There's something really special. Even though we weren't in the position we wanted to be in, walking down the 18th fairway, seeing a bunch of people there, seeing my wife there, and seeing my daughter there, and a lot of friends and stuff. Pretty cool, and still just an incredible experience. And then, of course, a special shout out to our tour sponsors and partners. Couldn't do anything that we're doing without that group. So let's talk a little bit about that. Shout out to Cake Place and more Laura Lewis for all of her amazing cookies this year. We are the season might be over, but we are right in the ramp up mode to 2025 and Monster Day. Excited to see what she has in store for us for next year. Huge shout out to the San Pedro Club Repair Studio, Ben and Alex over there. Alex caddying for Ben this weekend. Excuse me. Alex caddying for Ben this weekend. Ben sponsoring some of the documentary, making sure our team had golf balls, and also making sure that prior to it we had the golf clubs, the grips, everything else that we needed before we headed out onto the course that day. Big shout out to Cairo Services Group LLC, Land Improvement Services by something's going on with me, guys. I apologize. Land Improvement Services. That is our Micah. That's our very own Micah Carroll. Shout out to Cairo for their sponsorship and making sure that Global Fairway Logistics could be out on site. Danny Puckett and his team producing an amazing documentary this year. And of course, a big shout out to Global Fairway Logistics, Danny Puckett, his whole team out on the golf course this weekend. Did an incredible job making sure that they were catching all the action, making sure that we're going to have one hell of a show in January. Guys, I'm going to stop talking here for a little bit and bring out the rest of the boys, and we will talk a little bit about South Texas Match Play Challenge. I hope I'm not getting sick, but here we go. My friend, my partner during the regular season. Oh, good Lord, Mr. Brad Gilbert. Hey, Brad.
Hey, what's going on, MD? Are you all right? You need me to call somebody?
No, no one would answer for me.
Okay.
How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. Just got out of my son's basketball game. They won, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to get the show going.
That light is just, God, you're such a handsome man.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the podcast from here from now on. It's pretty good lighting.
You should, but I'll tell you what, no one. It's tough to compete, but I mean, if you're looking for that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, look no further than Jason Bird.
What's up, Jason?
Hello, Mr. Bird.
Greetings and salutations.
And on brand. And of course, welcoming our captain, our tour director, our fearless leader, our jittery but lovable friend, Travis Okowski.
Good evening, everybody. How are y'all tonight?
What's up, Travis?
Wow, that was super.
Greetings and salutations.
Well, yeah.
He's dying, dude.
You know,
You all right, MD?
MD fighting through.
Why not?
I like the 1920s English razor gang haircut you got going on this week.
Yeah,
It's very Peaky Blinders.
that's exactly what I was going for.
It's perfect. That's
Like
perfect. Your intro and your lead-in was perfect. You know, the weekend didn't go exactly the way we wanted, but just one thing. Other than that, the weekend was the coolest thing ever.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
we just didn't win, and I'm sure we're going to dive into that a little bit. But
We definitely will.
you know, it stings. It sucks. It's brutal. I want to win so bad for everybody on the team. You know, everybody that earned their way onto the team this year. Jason and I made the comment on Saturday that Saturday afternoon has never felt like Sunday before, and damn it, did Saturday feel just as bit dramatic down the stretch as Sunday did. And,
Yeah, it certainly did.
Saturday almost got out of hand. There was a lot of grinding happening there.
And you know, you want to win for those guys who are on the team so bad, and you want to win because you want the trophy to stay here. And I was setting up for the podcast, and I was running late, and I was thinking to myself, like, everything will look okay, does it look good on camera? And I'm thinking to myself, man, there's this big empty spot next to me on my desk where the trophy's been sitting for the last couple podcasts, and now it's gone. Brutal.
Put your flag on it.
On the plus side, it's not you had it while it was still intact.
That's it's okay. That's a story we'll
How
talk
could you
about.
do that?
It's just a story we'll talk about some other time.
Yeah.
But Houston played great. Jeff Pauly, Ron Hill, George Harlow, Randy McKay put together a fantastic team. Nothing but good dudes. Nothing but intense matches. It was really cool, and I hope we talk about this a lot. But fucking Riverside was mint. It was just.
That's what I forgot to mention. I forgot to mention San Pedro and Riverside staff and golf course conditions at Riverside, practice conditions on the backside of the range at San Pedro, and them taking care of breakfast. Same thing for Riverside taking care of dinner and how they manage that whole thing.
And
so, I mean,
I hope we talk about it enough. I mean, we marked some ground under repair on 6 fairway, was pretty gnarly, and there was some ground under repair on 9, and then there was one bad spot on 11 and one bad spot on 17. But Riverside was freaking tournament caliber, and the way Riverside felt at the kart staging area where the starters tent was on that little back tee box for number 1, and it kind of felt like it was perched up on the the hillside, like the fucking clubhouse at the Pete Dye course at French Lick. It felt like it was up on the hill, and that's where the trophy and the leaderboard were, and all of the players' flags.
I mean, I was about to say I love the putting green with all of the flags, the chipping area that had all the banners and stuff like that with all the players, sponsors, stuff like that. That was pretty cool.
And I'm sure we're gonna dive into flipping the nines and how that may have not been an advantage, but it was sure cool to finish on number 9 right there. It felt like this huge amphitheater, and everybody was just around the whole time, and it felt really cool. I really like that from an operational perspective. And then from an operational perspective, man, it's amazing. Houston needs to win. We need to win. Houston needs to win.
Those are the two options.
It makes the South Texas Amateur Golf Tour players hungrier, I think. Sure. It super engages Houston, who is now marketing this event, which is awesome. Cool. And it is their premier event, and they're all about expanding to the 20 players. Course yet to be determined for 2025 in Houston, but I heard some rumors, and I think it's gonna be pretty cool.
Yep.
And Riverside and San Pedro course conditions. The tour had a private warm-up session on Saturday. The back of the range we had also on last Wednesday for the podcast. Damn it, that's the best turf grass in the city.
1,000%.
I agree.
Yeah. It was really good for sure.
I mean, holy crap. And Javi and Chef Roy from San Pedro orchestrating all the food and beverage. The customer service was amazing. We were cleaning up Saturday night. Course setup crew was moving tee markers and taking care of stuff after the combined dinner, which was amazing, by the way.
It was fantastic.
Perfect.
Chef Carving Station prime rib at Riverside.
Bomb.
Chef Carving Station pork loin at Riverside. Riverside was mint, and the customer service was being awesome at both locations. Like, that was my statement. Like, I turned to Brad and Mark and MD, and Sabrina was there, and I went, everybody, can we take a minute to take a deep breath and realize that we are looking at Riverside?
Yeah.
It was so cool. It was just a flawless tournament. And like I told MD on Monday, the only thing we didn't do was win. Everything else was perfect. It was so cool. Andrew Peterson, president and CEO of the Trail, came out and watched for a little bit on Sunday, right as we were getting our butt whooped. So that was cool. But I thought it was really cool.
I mean,
and y'all can talk about Riverside a little bit more from a playing perspective, MD and Brad.
Yeah. Well, and first off, I mean, I want to say that obviously the loss sucks, but I also think again we talked about this for years and years and years of these unteachable moments, these these things that happen on a golf course, that we don't get to control, and we just have to kind of learn from it and move on. And my takeaway from this weekend is I think everybody on our team learned something about themselves, good or bad, and found things that they know they want to get better at, know what they want to keep working on. And I think this group, and I think the tour in general, just comes back stronger next year. I mean, it was a different environment. I think we probably had one of the bigger crowd sizes as well.
I do want to say that. Shouting out to people. Shout out to the tour family in San Antonio. Mm-hmm. Tour golfers coming out, whether they played open play before or after and hung out for a little bit, or whether they made a trip out there to follow along. Masters champion Tim White was out there. I saw Jermaine Bowen,
Jay Hine,
Kent Simnick, Jay Hine. It was
Steph.
Seth came and caddied. Casey Graham caddied.
Casey.
I mean, it was
lots of fathers, mothers, wives, kids.
I mean,
yes.
Cindy and Jessica had a little daycare started.
That's also what I wanted to comment on. Spouses caddying and walking along. I mean, it was so cool. I thought it was great. Spectators this year were freaking phenomenal and ultra respectful.
Yes.
Not one time was there a rules happening where there was a spectator in the way or anything like that. It was great. It was fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, that such a good showing. I think everyone was pretty. I think even if you were winning, losing, whatever it was, I think I think when your family got there and when you saw them, I can tell you, didn't have the best Sunday. It took you and I fighting on the 14th hole for me to get totally zoned in. But I was losing down 2 going into the back 9, and as we made the turn, Cindy and Emma showed up, and Emma running over and saying hi, and just it literally just made me stop thinking about what was going on for a little bit. It was so nice.
That's cool.
Ben Carricker.
There you go.
He
my partner
all weekend yelling at me for not smiling. He went up to my wife and said, "Does he smile? What's his problem?"
Right.
But yeah, it was great to have families out there. That was really, really special. And getting to have I think everybody there, especially the wives all get to hang out. The kids are running around together. Like it was very, I don't know, like that probably was one of the more special pieces of the weekend for me. Like I loved seeing that.
Yeah, that was really cool seeing everyone out there. And I'll just say in general, man, we're full 3 days away from the tournament, and I'm just now recovering.
No kidding.
But not necessarily for the amount of golf. It was more about the emotions that were involved all weekend. I was absolutely drained after Saturday, and the only thing kept me going was my partner, being Carricker. He was so positive and upbeat. I mean, we had a good result on Saturday, but I was man, it was just a draining emotional weekend. So I'm just now recovering.
It certainly is a different atmosphere when it's next level tournament. Like there's tournament golf and there's next level tournament golf, and then there's screw around golf, right? Yeah. Every second of both rounds is 100% mental commitment.
Absolutely.
It's a different atmosphere, and that is so much more demanding energy wise.
Well, absolutely. I also think, and we can sit here and you and I have talked. I think you and Bird, I think all of us have kind of talked, and we all kind of have our generalized opinion after the fact now, what we would have changed, or what we knew kind of where the issue was this weekend. But I think that
I have a couple
Haga,
of
at the end of the day, I think Haga played really, really well. And I think the other piece that was draining is in that fact of, we knew we were giving up a lot of strokes. The strokes were irrelevant. We knew, if we're zeros or, something like that, we got to go out and shoot under par. Haga just made more pars this weekend, just made a lot of pars, had a lot of guys playing really well. And I mean, that having to grind through that, not necessarily expecting that to be the case, and having them.
Yes.
We've talked about so we had flip 9s. So 8th hole, I hit an approach shot to nothing. And he gives me the birdie, and they drain a 30-foot putt down the hill on us. And that was kind of happening all around the course, and that
Sure.
shit's a gut punch in the middle
Yeah.
of a round that you're already strained to be focused.
Well, the final score of the let's hold on one second. Let's go back one second. Anybody else that we have to thank?
Yes, 100%. There is one person, and I saved him for last specifically, and that was Marky Mark.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Mark Kacheski,
Mark
head
Kacheski.
ambassador in charge.
Mark Kacheski gets separated from the rest of the group because I feel like Mark was on his own, kind of on his own level. Mark Kacheski was our kind of head ambassador and right-hand man for Travis this weekend, making sure that course was set up, making sure, Mark was showing up at the golf course at 4 a.m. Mark was staying late. Mark was grinding. I think Mark spent more time with Travis than he'd like to have maybe in the last 2 weeks. But Mark Kacheski, I think, so gracefully and so happily said, I didn't make the team. How can I
really
bring
cool.
my South Texas match play energy to
it was really cool. We were all in the Borglum studio immediately following MD's horse race win, and Mark got eliminated from the horse race on hole 3. It ended on hole 5. We had our meeting for an hour, and when we came out of that first team meeting, Mark was there at the trailer. He's like, I got the tee markers, and tell me what I can do for the event. And it was just right there, and it was just from the beginning. It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, Mark's amazing.
Mark. I mean, again, sometimes it's hard to watch. Sometimes watching, someone play when it's like, oh, that could have been my spot. Mark just was so focused on the team this weekend and so dedicated to making sure that our team was successful. Like, I thought that was just really big of him. Like, really cool.
It was. It couldn't. It wouldn't have been the same without him. It was awesome. It was awesome.
And we got that email from Randy McKay. He's like, hey, you guys freaking crushed it. This was the best event you guys have probably hosted to date.
Cool.
I mean, and that stuff happens because of Mark, honestly.
Yeah, and anyone who knows Mark, it wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he's just a great guy, and that's what he does. I mean, he brings everything he has to the tour and everything else he does. So, really thankful to have him on tour.
Yeah, heck yeah. All right. 2024 South Texas Match Play Challenge is in the books. 20-10 was the final score. MD, do you have screenshots of day 1 and day 2?
Oh, I do. I do. Oh.
I suppose we should start with Saturday. This one is quick. We won't focus on this one a lot. We don't necessarily play great, but 3.5, 6.5. The goal really was 6-4 on the first day, and 6.5, 3.5. 3 points behind after day 1. Ben and Brad a full point. Steven and David a full point. 3 matches tied, and every one of those came back from down to tie, which was really cool. I mean, there was a moment where Saturday looked ugly. There was a moment where it was ugly.
Sure.
But shout out to Houston. They always play great in the team format. For whatever reason, we don't. So 3.5, 6.5, we underperformed a little bit, but we didn't feel like it was outside of the bell curve. And then Saturday is going to look like a bloodbath in this graphic. This is singles matches, and there's 20 of them. 20 points on Saturday. And that looks brutal, right? It looks like super red. However, 20-10 loss is only 5 points. Subtract 5 points from Houston, add 5 points to the tour, and we're tied 15-15. So, sorry, I got distracted by a comment there. I'm back. So we were in it. Until the 16th hole of match 16 of the Tim Blunt match, when they halved the 7th hole, their 16th hole of the match, when they have the par 3, that ensured Hago would win the half a point to put them over. It wasn't over yet, but that was the clincher. When they tied that hole, we had to flip those last 3 matches. And Jonathan Harder was leading at the time. Dennis and Jonathan were leading at the time, and we needed to flip Tim, Steven, and Jeremy. And we had our path to 15 was narrowing quickly at the end. But check this out. If you look at this and you look at the red numbers, Willie Nichols, Ben Carricker, Danny Lee, Art Mesa, Michael Hudson, Weldon Blunt, and Steven. That's 8 matches ended on the 8th hole, the 17th hole of their match.
Yeah, it's tough.
Holy crap. And then look, another 2 went to the last hole. MD's half a point and Jonathan Harder's lost to Mr. Mullins there in the final match, which the final match went all 18 holes. I love that. That's amazing. And, everybody was there. Everybody clapped and applauded when it was over. And if you look at it, 11 matches of the 20 went to the 8th. I'm sorry, we lost on the 8th hole or the 9th hole. 11 of the 20. And then if we look at the ones that we've won, there's a tie. There's Brad's win. There's David's win. That's another 14 of the 20 matches went to the 17th or 18th hole on Saturday. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think, and that shows how close it was, right? 20-10 looks like an ass whooping on the final leaderboard. And if you go just 1 or 2 layers down, that 8th hole with a late handicap dot in a lot of matches there, that 8th hole was too much to overcome with the deficit that we had dug ourselves into.
And I think, I don't know where Brad was at in his mind. But I was thinking about that 17th hole with 5 holes to play, because I'm sitting there thinking that pop is going to hurt me very badly.
Gotta be one up.
I haven't. Yeah, you had to. That was one of those holes like you had to make birdie or you were going to lose it.
Well, for me, I was 4 down through 5, so I was just hoping to even just get to 17 to begin with for most of the round. But you mentioned Tim Blunt's match. I was watching him finish up, and man, he made an amazing up and down on hole 7 or 16, number 7. Just to stay in it, man. He was fighting hard. And I know every single match that we went back and watched after we finished, that was awesome to root the guys on, and everyone was fighting. And
oh my gosh,
it was amazing.
The up and down on that hole, on hole number 7, that rough in front of number 7 was gnarly. Right? It was gnarly. And the up and down that, oh my gosh, John,
Art?
Yes, who is playing Art? John Zopko.
Yeah.
Yes, John Zopko. The up and
ridiculous.
down that he made on that hole from front left was amazing. Oh my goodness, it was awesome.
I believe he was inside the hazard, right, on the upslope. Like right by the water.
To a front right pin.
It was crazy, and it was tracking too when he chipped
that pin was a tough little pin.
It was really tough.
thought 7 on Saturday was the toughest hole location on Saturday. And then I thought number 3 on Sunday was a pretty cool shot.
Shoot. Oh yeah, the par 5.
No, I'm sorry. Hole number 3.
Hole number 3.
12th hole, the par 3.
Oh yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah,
I
that
thought that was a really cool hole location.
tucked on the left side.
On
Yeah.
Sunday, I wonder how many people actually like. My ball landed 5 feet in front of it, but it all went down that left side.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I had.
Oh, go ahead, sir.
Oh, I watched a bunch of people that were just right there, buried on the left. They'd hit the green and go left, but that pin was really cool.
That was really cool.
But I really wanted to highlight this graphic. MD and I have talked a lot about it in the last couple days. And some number like 15 of our 20 golfers are single digits in GIN or better. And we had 4 or 5 pluses. And Houston, we knew we were giving Houston a lot of dots to begin with. And we only had one 9 as a team that was under par from a team member.
Yeah, I mean,
a couple at
playing
par.
tough.
Yeah, a couple at par, and you know, we didn't make a ton of birdies. And Houston, like MD said, Houston made a ton of pars. And we have some 4-ball strategy to work on, and we've got some grinding out to do. And Jason and I as captains, and you know, as we strategize the 2025 team. And listen, 4 years in a row, the visiting team has won. I mean, how cool of a stat is that?
Yeah. I mean, how much pressure do you think accounts for, you know, being home field advantage and feeling like you have to pull out the victory? You know,
I think a lot. I think a lot for us. They had 6 rookies. We had 9. So I think down the stretch, I think on Saturday we played in twosomes, and I absolutely operationally loved it.
that was
That was fantastic.
But maybe as a captain, I didn't necessarily like it, and maybe it went too fast, and maybe there wasn't a crutch for a rookie on our team to maybe view on. I don't know. Maybe I'm stretching here.
No, that makes. I mean,
if nothing else, you can feed off the person, the other person that you're playing with, right?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, ultimately back to the grindstone and doing what we do best, grinding it out. But I wanted to really show that number on how many matches went to the 17th or 18th hole. 14 of the 20 matches on Sunday went to the 17th or 18th hole. I thought that was a really cool stat.
That is cool. I didn't realize that.
MD,
and it was almost.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you guys.
I was gonna move subjects.
No, let's move subjects.
Okay, MD, we've got one award recognition to give out.
That is correct.
This, in my mind, it is 7:36 p.m. on November the 13th, the Wednesday after the South Texas Match Play Challenge. In my mind, closes the season.
Yes.
This recap on this podcast is the last task for 2024. We'll take next week off. I don't know if you talked about this or not. We'll take next week off, and then we'll come back in 2 weeks talking about the 2025 schedule, and that launches 2025 in my mind, right? So this is the last task of the 2024 tour season, is to give out the South Texas Match Play Challenge MVP award. And this year, it is a co-MVP award. MD, would you do the honors?
Yes. It is my pleasure to announce that our co-MVPs for the first time ever, going 2-0 over the weekend, David Falconer, and right next to him and right next to us on the screen, Bradley Gilbert, our MVPs of the South Texas Match Play Challenge Team 2024.
Listen, we didn't win a lot of points, so the two dudes who won 2 points, it was easy MVP tallying, and it was a unanimous decision. We've never had that before like that. So 2 points. If we look at it and we break it down, Brad Gilbert and David Falconer are responsible for 40% of our points.
I'll say, man, Ben Carricker earned those points for us for the most part, man. On the back nine, that guy was a birdie machine. I just sat back and tried to make as many pars as possible. So as a team, man, I'll pair up with Ben Carricker any day of the week. But I just want to say
right
I'm really, yeah, no, and I was like, yeah, but on the match play,
Okay.
I'll tell you what.
Exactly.
I talked to Mary Carricker today for just a second, and she was telling me how excited Ben was to play and to prep and to get into it, and she hadn't seen him act like that in years, and I think that was cool.
That's awesome. And I did want to say that I'm very happy for David, because when we talked with him on the podcast last at the range session, I just had a feeling, like I could tell he was ready and he was going to come ready to play. So I'm really excited for him, and he was really.
Both of the participating sponsors, Rick Hoinsey and David Falconer, were in it, like 100% in it.
Yep.
It was awesome.
That was awesome.
Well,
yeah.
MD, is there anything else you would like to talk about? We talked about Danny Puckett, and we will again this year have some sort of a launch party premiere at San Pedro, we believe, for Matchup Mayhem 2.0, the video documentary on the 2024 South Texas Match Play Challenge.
Golly, I cannot wait for that.
Global Fairway Logistics. I mean, it felt like a tour event, like a PGA Tour event. There were cameramen everywhere.
Yeah.
They had walkie-talkies. I stole the headset and had a headset on for a little bit. It was great. But I'll tell you what, I can't wait to see. We will, MD, can we pin up the 2023 film on Facebook and the YouTube page towards the top? The 2023 film is out there, High Meadow Ranch, South Texas Am Tour 1 in 2023. And I have a feeling that while we're talking about this tournament being really cool and the only thing we didn't do was win and that sucks, I have a feeling that Matchup Mayhem 2.0, what Danny's putting together, is going to be something really special because of that emotional component. I think it's going to be super, super cool.
And I also think, again, just because we lost does not mean we all didn't put on a show.
Heck yeah. I agree completely.
And so, I mean, that is 100%. There's a whole lot of good stuff out there. And Danny, I mean, I know Danny got some stuff. When I was there, I saw him get some shots. But Brad and some of the other guys, and they hit some just ridiculously good shots. I'm like, oh, that's the highlight reel. That's the highlight reel right here.
I love it. Yeah. I love it.
I just want to real quick apologize to my mom, because when I got up and down on 16 and the cameras were there, I completely forgot about the cameras, and I'm pretty sure I said some crazy stuff.
Well, we'll censor that out. I'll tell you what, for the first time in STX Am Tour history, we had a mic'd up player. Brad Gilbert was mic'd up for a little bit on Sunday. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, yeah, man. Cool.
Heck yeah. Like, what did you play, hole 4 and 5 mic'd up?
4 and 5. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That was intense. I was 2 down, and I had to hit some golf shots. So that'd be cool to see.
That's pretty cool.
And
I wanted to share a proud fact that I
and
had.
he went par, mic'd up, and he won the 5th hole, mic'd up.
Yeah, I almost chipped in on 4.
TV.
Yeah, I almost chipped in on 4 to take it, and then made birdie or won the hole at the par on 5. So be cool.
I do want to say, Travis, I made it 16 holes before I cursed in front of the camera
Nice.
on Saturday.
Nice.
And then once I knew it was over, I just never stopped.
Oh, Danny Puckett, comment section.
Oh,
The
damn.
mic'd holes are awesome.
Dang, now I'm excited. Even more excited.
But yeah, I'll tell you what, on Sunday, I wore a mic for 4 or 5 hours. So I'm sure there's some hot mic grab content. I didn't ask for a highlight reel. Jason and I did one of the sponsor packages alongside you guys. Instead of having a player highlight reel, we asked for a captain blooper reel. So it should be great. I only made one whiff as a captain. I had the wrong scenario in my head, and I made a fool of myself one moment. But
Sure, it's fine.
I did my best to color commentate a little bit. I was mic'd up to Danny, but I was in Danny's ear, but I couldn't hear Danny back, but he could hear me for sure. So so that was fun for a while. But I only made one error, and it turns out we won a half a point, so it was okay. But the list of things that we missed this year was pretty slim. Just a win.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
again, shout out to Riverside. Shout out to the Alamo City Golf Trail. Shout out to the STX Am Tour golfers, family and friends and spectators that came out to hang out with us. And MD, Brad, unless you got anything else to add, that puts a stamp on 2024 in my mind.
2024, it's done. We're on to 2025, baby.
Woo!
Let's go. I'm ready.
With that being said, 2024 season-ending results all available on Facebook and the website. They'll be there for a couple more weeks. We will take next week off as a crew. We have a little mini end of the year retreat planned this weekend. We can talk about that in just a second. But we will take next week off, the 20th, and then we will come back on Thanksgiving Wednesday for our holiday special. And that is 2025 schedule release day, November the 27th. And that also will be Monster Day, open for registration day. So if all goes according to plan, we hope to open registration for Monster Day at 7:30 p.m. on November the 27th.
That's exciting.
Live on the air. Boop.
I mean,
But
I'm gonna just start emailing in now.
It was an awesome year. The more rounds played collectively across the tour than ever before. More golfers competed on tour than ever before. It was the largest South Texas Match Play Challenge. 4th consecutive road win. Another successful tour year that we're going to continue to grow on leaps and bounds. And continue to provide the best tournament atmosphere for San Antonio and the region's elite amateur players.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's just so cool. So cool this year. And I mean, every year we always ask, like, how do we make it better? And somehow we find...
Be on the lookout in the next
figure
couple
it out.
newsletters. Here's a teaser. Be on the lookout in the next couple newsletters. I believe Tour Travels is going to hit general public sales with 2 openings.
Oh man.
That is Certainly, Danny Puckett, we absolutely believe that for sure. 100%. Yes. The South Texas Amateur Golf Tour is the home for amateur golf in South Texas, the region, and we feel it stacks up tournament quality, tournament operation wise with anywhere in the state.
For sure.
100%. I agree.
That is
not
even a question.
We wake up every day and look in the mirror and say what we do is changing the landscape of amateur golf every time we pull into the parking lot. So we agree completely, bud.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah, heck yeah. So be on the lookout in the next couple newsletters for tour travels information. That's maybe just a little tease. Jason might be mad at me for that one, but Tour Travels 2025, back to Destination Kohler. That has also grown in player count, up 10%. Again, where we've gone, actually it's up 20% from 2024. And I love traveling across the country with tour golfers, and there's nothing quite like bringing tour golfers to Kohler. So super special. I want you to know that the lighting Brad has had on this podcast has been phenomenal. I really, really liked it.
Awesome.
Congratulations, Houston Amateur Golf Association 2024 South Texas Match Play Challenge champions. We can't wait to see you guys next November in Houston proper for the 2025 South Texas Match Play Challenge. A week off. Guys, what are you looking forward to this weekend as you go into our off week?
I'm looking
segue of the year right there, everybody.
I mean, I'm looking forward to playing some good golf and coming home with some money.
We are we kind of have an end of the year retreat brought to you by the South Texas Amateur Golf Tour and the ambassadors and Sabrina and everybody else who's letting us sneak away for the weekend. MD, myself, Brad Gilbert, and Jason Bird is joining us. We're going to Las Vegas for 4 days, playing some pretty cool places, and we are stopping at TPC Summerlin. We're going up to Mesquite in playing Wolf Creek. Wolf Creek from the tips in the snow sounds amazing.
It's not going to be snowing.
We are blessed enough to have my bucket list course on Tuesday of next week. 6 days from now. This has been the course that I've wanted to play since we started tracking the courses we have played.
Oh.
And we are going to Shadow Creek on Tuesday.
And it's going to be mid to high 60s.
It's going to be
I'm being optimistic.
It's going to be beautiful.
You're an optimist.
Listen, I wear long underwear when it's 70 degrees out. You know? So,
Dude, Cindy all weekend kept asking me, how is Travis in a sweater right now? How's he in a hoodie right now? How's he not dying?
Oh yeah, I had tights on. I had tights on underneath. You know, but yes, yes. But this weekend, kind of the end of the year retreat. Myself, MD, Brad, and Jason Bird. Really looking forward to it. I got in a good practice session in the simulator last week for a little bit. Got some rips on the launch monitor a little bit. Hit some putts at Riverside over the weekend. So I get one extra round over the two of you. So alongside Jason Bird, we didn't get a chance to play this past weekend. So we're sneaking in one extra round on Saturday before y'all get there.
As you should.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I was kind of putting some stuff together today for it. And I just like normal, I laid out my travel toiletries kit, my KT tape, my Bayer back and body,
and then it went like headphones, launch monitors, swing stick, and I went, "Ooh, I can't wait to be on the driving range. Like, I just can't wait. I love practicing, and I just haven't had time down the stretch to do it. And I'm just excited to get in 4 quality practice sessions with you guys, and then play some of the best golf courses in the Las Vegas area, and my personal bucket list course. No shit, Brad Gilbert. Since we started keeping track of the courses we have been, Shadow Creek has been my bucket list.
That's a very long time.
How many courses are on that list?
We use the Golf Digest top 100 places you can play list. So it changes every 2 years a little bit, kind of down there in that 60, 70, 80, 90 range.
Sure.
But the top 50 or 60 stay the same. And that would be a cool segment to do in one of these off-week shows. Who has what on what list? I would love to see Jason's list, and I would love to see who has what as their favorite. And Casey's favorites, the Broadmoor, even though he hated the Donald Ross course at French Lick. It's so crazy, right?
It makes no sense.
They're the same golf course, just one's in Indiana and one's on the side of a mountain in Colorado. You know, they're the same. But I think that would be a really cool show. I couldn't tell you, Brad. I'll put my list together and bring it this weekend and let you know how many I've got checked off.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I've got not an official list, but I do have quite a few that I've put together. So that'd be interesting. Yeah,
we use the Golf Digest list, not the Golf Week list.
Sure.
The Golf Week list factors in green fee into their ranking, so it skews some of those $50 or $60 properties, which are amazing, like Sultan's Run.
Oh my God. That's the best $60 round of golf.
It's the best $60 golf course on the planet, but it's not a top 100 golf course. But it is on that list because of the value for the buck, right? So we use the Golf Digest list which ranks just the course.
Nice. Well, I've only played golf in Vegas one time, and that was with you guys. So I'm excited to get some more courses out there. So
where else? We went to Coyote Springs. Oh, that was the day I lost my phone and got sick. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I got sick and I lost my phone at the same time. I got done with the whole ordeal, and MD said you could have went with either one, but you had to do both at the same time. And it was like, oh my God. We went to Coyote Springs, and we
have you on tracking on your phone so we can find it for you now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I share my there's an AirTag on my keys and my wallet, and my phone is shared with MD as well. So where else did we play? We played Cascada and Cascada and Coyote Springs. That was it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Just a quick 2-dayer.
Yeah, it was just a quick
Oh, bang bang! I love it when we travel like that. But back to Sin City this weekend for a little end of 2024 officially. We can't wait to see you in a couple weeks talking 2025 and Monster Day. Be on the lookout for the schedule release teasers in next week's newsletter, and then the big launch on the podcast on November the 27th. MD, buddy, congratulations. Horse race champion. Brad Gilbert qualified in the regular season. That is the toughest way to do it. What a cool team this was. It was an honor to be part of it. MD,
I agree.
Can you close 2024 for us?
Let's close out 2024. Everybody, thank you again for making the 2024 season what it was. The best participation, the best players of every caliber, the most dedicated, and most excited to be a part of something amazing. The tour continues to do that, continues to bring more and more people together. We get to have amazing tournaments, and we get to do this stuff. We're so happy that you guys got to be a part of it. Proud to be with you guys and continuing to do this stuff in 2025. So it's going to be great.
Couple more years to go still. We're not going anywhere. Unapologetically, STX AM Tour.
Hell yes. So that's all I got. Brad, any closing thoughts on your end, my friend?
No, I just want to echo the just really proud to be on this team with all these guys. Got to know a couple people a little bit better, which is awesome, and I can't wait to compete with them, get back to competing against them. So
I'm so excited to get back to tournament play, man. I'm
Yes.
already jonesing for an event. So
let's do it.
all right, guys. Well, thanks everyone for hanging out. Have a good evening. We will see you guys in a couple of weeks, and we will be talking 2025 spring season and sign up for the first event of the season.
Wow,
Monster
we're
Day.
talking, and
go.
just like that, and just like
it's
that, we're
Monster
talking
Day.
Monster Day.
Yep.
Let's go.
Train never stops. So, all right, everybody, have a good night, and we will see you in a couple of weeks.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Night.